Hello, guys. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are. I want to go over the crypto market today. I want to show a couple of things that I think are really important right now because it looks like not a lot is going on, but actually there is a lot going on. And if you are not right positioned, then you can get completely fucked up right here because it seems like a certain last like big move is about to happen. It's already kind of happening though, and I really need to discuss that so you can place yourself in the best position. I already dropped this in the Patreon in an exclusive video, but this piece of that video is also what I want to show here because you can really make a lot out of this crypto market. But still, a bull market, it's hard, it's stressful, it's not fun. And even during an alt season, you can get wrecked. And I really don't want you guys to get wrecked. Okay. So let's get into that. And mainly, I want to make this a Q&A as well. So drop your questions into the chat bar. Certain altcoins you want me to take a look at, certain other things, doesn't matter. So we can go over that. So hi everybody, hi. Sunglasses in the building. Sup? All right. What up, guys? So I first want to go over the market a little bit, and then I will go into some questions. So let me just not be that typical bitch on YouTube that saves the most important for last, but let me start with it, okay? Now, what's happening right now is that Bitcoin is in this range, right? And that we got rejected from this range was actually a little bit predictable. I mean, we make lower highs, we make lower lows. So, yeah, a lower low is not weird or anything. If that happens, don't like it sucks, maybe, and maybe you don't hope for it, and maybe it's not gonna happen, but let's not act surprised if it happens. I mean, this range has been going on since March. It's now August, right? So why should it not play out? So Bitcoin is now going down. Um, it looks like it was bouncing off of the bull market support band. That's at least a good thing. If you pull up the bull market support band, you put it on the weekly, you can see that it actually had like kind of a perfect bounce so far. But then again, it is Friday. We have 2 full days and half a day left. Anything could happen still, but that's a strong sign. Also, we are still above the 100 daily move, 200 daily moving average, so that's a good sign as well. Now, I do feel like, let me get to cut to the chase. If we break these levels, I think 60K is a really important level. One, we have this big horizontal support coming in over there. And as you can see, we had support here, kind of support over here, here. Once we broke below it, we had, a little resistance. And that could be the next big support level. And it's also where the Bitcoin production cost is sitting, right? So for miners to mine a Bitcoin. And I said this many times before, but it's so obvious, right? If Bitcoin is worth 50K and it costs 60K to mine a Bitcoin, do you think these miners will still mine Bitcoin? Of course not, right? Then it's not worth it anymore. So no new Bitcoins coming into circulation. Supply goes down. Demand is obviously only going up. So that automatically is good for the price. So therefore, if we are ever below the Bitcoin production cost, it is the best buying opportunity, the most obvious buying opportunity that you can get. So if you are on TradingView, it's free indicator. Just type in your indicators, Bitcoin production cost, and you will find it. Put it on daily, and you can get the exact information, right? This big fat red line where my bar is sitting exactly, but this line right here is what it costs to mine a Bitcoin. We go below it very occasionally, but every single time in full Bitcoin's history, we went below it. Buying was the best idea ever because Bitcoin never went lower. Okay. So yeah, I'm not saying that this is a guarantee or anything, but for the last 15 years, it has worked, right? So it would be a little unwise to completely ignore that. Now, I know who cares about Bitcoin, right? Well, that's exactly what you should care about. And I will show you in this video exactly why it is stupid to not be in Bitcoin and why it is stupid to be fully in altcoins. Because so far, altcoins, let's be honest, exceptions here and there, but overall, didn't do what you want, right? Didn't do what I want. The altcoin market is not doing well. Bitcoin is lower risk, but it has outperformed the altcoin market. So why the fuck would you be in altcoins then? Makes zero sense. It's also what my last video was. If you take that knowledge into the next cycle, you fucking make it. You will make it. And it's not too late to apply it yet, though. So let me show you a couple of interesting things. Because Bitcoin, yeah, it's not sitting at the highs right now. It's not, right? It's below the highs right now. High 73 something. We're now at 64 and a half. If you look at the Bitcoin dominance, yeah, this has been putting in high after high after high. I know we had this wick right here, but overall it's a big fat uptrend. And now what we are seeing is that if you overlay Bitcoin on this chart, right, you can see Bitcoin goes down, but the dominance goes up. And this is a small move, right? But you can already see what happens to the altcoin market. Altcoins already bip down, and you'll notice on your portfolio. So what do you think happens if Bitcoin, really just has a good correction and the dominance really has a good pump and not these small bumps that you can't even see if you zoom out? That's kind of what might happen. I don't want to be bearish though. Don't get me wrong. This is a massive opportunity. But it wouldn't be the first time it happens. And if it happens, your altcoin bags are going to fucking get wrecked. So make sure that if you are an alt, I'm not saying you should get out of altcoins. I won't. But make sure that you are in the right altcoins. Small caps, now at this stage of the market, extremely high risk. You can lose 80% if not more. Right? But also the altcoins that are weak against Bitcoin, you should get out now. Get out, right? And that's what I showed you in the last video. So that's not what I'm going to focus on today. Watch that video. Again, you can look at narratives, what's going on with the project, who's the team, what they're about to do. All that research and research is important. But just by looking if an altcoin, how it does on its Bitcoin pair, if you only focus on that without doing zero research, you will outperform all the researchers. It sounds weird, but it's actually a fact, right? Because if your altcoin is not holding up against Bitcoin, then you have no reason to be in that altcoin. Then dump it and go in an altcoin that's strong against Bitcoin, and you will make it. At least not get wrecked, right? But anyway, I mean, if you look at the Bitcoin dominance, it has been going up, up, up. And from this point, basically, this point right here, Bitcoin has been going down, right? Bitcoin, this was the all-time high for Bitcoin. Bitcoin has been going down since then. But the dominance since that point has been going up quite strong. So that should tell us, like, hey, guys, watch out with altcoins because Bitcoin didn't even went down that like hard. And altcoins already take a pretty good dump, right? And that just leaves for me the caution. Like, hey, what if Bitcoin really has a decent correction? Or what if Bitcoin just does what it does now, but the dominance really has a good pump? Then altcoins can go down really hard. And the chart is saying it all. There's the others, right? Everything outside of the top 10. So really the altcoin market. And it is super weak, right? We had this bounce right here, but it got wrecked very hard, right? So of course you have some kind of a relief rally right there. It's not a reversal, okay? Because we have the highs, lower highs, lower highs. We have lows, lower lows, lower lows. Right? So this is still going down. Now, at the beginning of this trend, basically, we touched the top of the trend, touched the top, 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 top. Now we didn't even get to the top, right? But we still go to the downside. So is it possible that altcoins see a lower low? Yeah, it's very, right? Could definitely happen. So that's something we should just be prepared for. So if you're trading with USDT, I would say be careful buying these 15% corrections because you might get a 50% correction and then you still want to have money to buy it with. And this brings me to the biggest point of this whole video, basically, before we get into the fun stuff. But in the meantime, like it though. If you look at others on their Bitcoin pair, right? So the altcoin market on its Bitcoin pair collectively, what do you see? A lot of shit, I know. Other than that, what do you see? You see that others is now at the lows, right? At the cycle lows. So what does that tell you? You should have been in Bitcoin. That's what it tells you, right? Because if you were, and I'm not saying that it's too late, but I'm definitely not saying like convert your altcoins to Bitcoin right now. That's the pivot that always happens before you get the final flush out, and then alt season finally starts. So it's now maybe a little late for that. But if you feel like, hey, I'm gonna allocate more money into the market, buying altcoins might not be that smart now, right? Because if you look at this, altcoins are sitting at the lows, and I don't know what the title of this video. Altcoins are back at cycle lows. Yeah, and if you look at the title, you might be like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Right? We're sitting here. The lows were here. That's on the dollar pair, but on the Bitcoin pair, they are sitting at the lows. So if you have Bitcoin in your portfolio, right, not only you have made money in the last year and a half, but you can also use that Bitcoin right now to get into the altcoin lows, the lows. So for everybody that's always saying like you should not be in Bitcoin, it's boring, you're missing out on altcoins. Look where we are. Everybody's stressing about altcoins for years, and by just not being in it, you can now buy the lows. You have not missed out on anything. And in the meantime, you have made money as well. So for the next cycle, I just think it's super important to realize that altcoins are not the way to make money. Okay, it's such a easy statement to make. Like, yeah, Bitcoin is not going to give you 100x's. Well, altcoins are not giving you 100x's right now, right? It's when to buy what. That's what matters, right? There are stages in the market where you don't want to be in crypto at all, right? In the bear market, for example, if you want to be hatched a little bit into Bitcoin, fine, but in altcoins, fuck off, right? But there are also stages in the market, which is the longest part of the 4-year cycle, where you want to be in Bitcoin, right? Because if it goes sideways or up, altcoins still go down on the Bitcoin pair. So why not be in Bitcoin then? And then when you feel like, hey, it's now maybe time to get into the altcoin market, get into the altcoin market, because where everybody has lost with their altcoin backs, you would have made money, right? Or at least play even and now get into the lows. And it sounds cruel, but it is a fact. Crypto is massively player versus player. And there are a lot of losing players out there at the moment. There are a lot of people that say, like, I'm down so far from the highs and da. And I'm guilty. I'm guilty because what I just explained, I don't play that game 100% because I also know how it is to want some to have some exposure to altcoins. But in hindsight, I feel like, next cycle, I'm not even going to play this game. I'm not even going to be in altcoins until the last year of the cycle, which is the post-halving year. And in this cycle's case, 2025, right? Because if you look right here as well, if you look at altcoins on the Bitcoin pair, when do they run? When is really a good time to be there? Here in 2021 is where altcoins heavily outperform. And here in 2017. The other years, it basically either goes down or just sideways. Right? So I don't know. That's just something. It is so freaking important, man. It's so freaking important. And also, what I said on the Patreon video, the crypto market is not complicated, but you can make it very complicated. But you can better do two things, right? And this is the best advice I can give, which is not financial. Don't sue me, fuck off. But this is really the best piece of advice I can give you, as far as my experience goes, at least, right? Either fully understand this, right? But really understand the 4-year cycle, how it is still intact, how it moves, why altcoins go down on their Bitcoin pairs, what the macro and the potential rate cuts and the QE has to do with it, and exactly know why Bitcoin pairs are the only thing that matters, and if that USDT pairs are irrelevant, right? It should not be important. Either fully understand that and fully play that game, or just buy the stuff that you have conviction in and just wait until peak bull and then sell. And in the meantime, leave crypto alone. Leave it alone. Just buy, live your life, and leave it alone. Otherwise, you're going to make mistakes. And that's how a lot of people lose money, unfortunately. right? They will. This is what I showed on the Patreon video right here. Right, this path, this ugly path like this, could be how alt season plays out. Right, that we start to see a little alt season at the end of this year. That it bounces off this huge support, and that altcoins go down on their Bitcoin pair again. That the Bitcoin dominance goes up, and that there people feel like, fuck, not alt season. Okay, whatever. Let me sell my altcoins, and that then alt season really continues. And then we finally, had our alt season. And a lot of people still lost money or did not gain money because an alt season, a full bull market is not nice. It's way more stressful. It's simply not fun, right? Bear markets are easy. Don't be in the market. Can be more easy. Sideways market, also quite easy. DCA. But a bull market, a real bull market, especially for altcoins, you have to act fast. You really have to act fast, right? And also, people can't stand corrections, right? Like this bull market so far, it is bull market. Call it whatever you want. It is bull market. Look, what the fuck? We went up from the bottom until the top, 450%. Don't you call that a bull market? But in the meantime, yeah, then we can also go down 40%, especially the altcoin market, right? Yeah, if you cannot stand this, I can guarantee you we will see more of those, way more. In the 2017 bull market, we saw like 8 of those, right? If you cannot even handle one without saying that it's all over and blah, 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 yeah, then good fucking luck, man. But it's not going to work out for you. So that's what I wanted to cover right now. I want to go over a couple questions and I want to show you some cool things. Let me check. Let's start. Oh, fuck my head. Where's my head? Not that you're missing it though, but whatever. Can I do this somewhat else? Well, too bad you can. Oh, wait, of course. Look. There we are. Let's start off with, should I ape into Pepe Unchained or Wiener AI? I don't know Pepe Unchained. Is that a coin or do you mean Pepe and there's another coin that's called Pepe Unchained? Okay, I don't know about that. And Wiener AI, I don't know about that, but it sounds a little weird in my opinion. But let's take a real quick look what it is in the first place. I don't know. It's not tracked, so I don't know how you should ape into that in the first place, to be honest. So no idea, man. Someone asks, wondering why you stopped talking about S World, SNFTS, if you love CDFI and the project, because I'm mostly interested in the launchpad at this time. SNFTS, Seed World, it all takes really long to build, and they're really much in preparation mode, and it's good to keep your eyes on it. But I feel like, man, if they're ever gonna finally release their stuff, they should not wait for too long because this bull market is not gonna last forever. And in that case, they can better hold off, wait until the next bull market, right? 2027. So I'm just more waiting, like, hey, what is the project going to do? What's up? What's on their timeline, right? And as long that's not really clear to me, yeah, then I am not like really investing in it, let alone talking about it to an audience of a couple thousand people. That feels unright for me. I do not think that SNFTS is done for or anything like that, but yeah, you know what? CDFI is just really all over the place. They have they have S Fund. They now get S World. They have SNFTS. They have NFT collections. They had Good Morning Fam. They have like this, that. I feel like Jesus. Just first fix your launchpad like S Fund, right? Like ChainGPT is like catching up, and all these launchpads are more innovative by now. I feel like first fix the basis and then expand to other stuff. So it's too much for me at this point. That's quite related. What do you think about the launchpad space going forward? I'm uncertain as there are so many new tokens now, diluted the market, reducing interest in pre-sales. Also, do you like OrderFi? I love it. Look, it depends on what stage of the market you are, right? Like, if you look at CDFI, for example, and I just use CDFI as a token to make my point right here, but there are more of those. If you look at CDFI, what happened to CDFI as fund when the market pumped in end of last year, you can see that I always like to compare, right? So the general altcoin market from the bottom to the top did 416%, give or take. And I just look at CDFI, and CDFI did 917%, right? And it's not only that, ChainGPT did 1400%. Paid networks, not full chart, too bad. Let me see. GameFi, also Launchpad, did 1200%, right? Like there are a lot of launchpads out there and they all kind of look the same. So that tells me, hey, in this cycle, apparently launchpads are the big winners, big outperformers. But launchpads are only interesting in a market that goes up, right? Then people have money to spare and to actually get into new projects. Now the market is going down quite hard. People feel like, dude, I'm already losing money with my existing coins, right? Why the fuck would I want to be in new coins? So then these launchpads get hit hardest as well. And therefore, I feel like I understand that you are uncertain. And a lot of people feel like that. That makes me more bullish because that's always the sentiment that makes the price go down, right? It's not that the price goes down and then the sentiment like that comes up. It's also the other way around. So yeah, people start believing in it, and I feel like, hey, it's written on the wall right here. In this market, it apparently pumps hardest, right? It outperformed the altcoin market with 2-3x. So yeah, I'm very much into launchpads. And the market, guys, it can turn quickly, right? Before you know, maybe we are in a big upwards market again. Everybody made a lot of money, and the new projects are really interesting. And yeah, there are a lot of projects that fucked it up, right? Like with big vestings, VCs, bullshit. But the market is now really talking about it, right? People are talking about it. They're kind of protesting against that. And I feel like as a project, you are now stupid to do so because nobody's going to invest anymore, right? So there will be good projects with low float or high float, low FTV, and I think that that's the way to go. And also, CDFI is focusing on that a lot. So no, launchpads. It's my biggest niche that I hold. Actually, hello, hello. What do you think about Mixmob? Well backed and very cheap right now. I had it on my watch list for a while. I'm not an investor at the moment, but I can take a look at the charts real quick. So let me add Mixmob on the dollar pair. Let me also compare it to the Bitcoin pair because that's most important. Well, it's not a buy right now. At least that's pretty clear, right? It's it's definitely not a buy. And against this Bitcoin pair, it's looking awful as well. Let me see market cap wise, etc. It's at a $1.5 million market cap, but the fully diluted market cap is way higher. So what you always at least want to do is go to a website like CryptoRank or anything like that and look for the project and then see how the vesting is, because you don't want to really get dumped on that hard, right? But the next vesting that's unlocking another 2% of the total supply, and that goes on for a while. Like angel investors, private investors, but the team as well, seed investors, they're all getting their tokens. And especially in this market, yeah, they're dumping, right? So this is a project that I would for sure not buy, just purely apart from if I know what the project is or not. Just look at the chart. It's a falling knife, right? This is something you don't buy. Very simple, very simple. And other than that, also if I look like, hey, why it is falling, yeah, downwards altcoin market compared to or combined with big unlocks, right? So if I'm buying it right now, I'm basically saying, hey guys, you need some exit liquidity. Here I am. Take it. Fuck off, right? What might be interesting is that the vesting ends July 2025, to keep it on your radar for then. right? Because then, yeah, the team still gets their tokens, but it's also in the team's favor to pump the price, right? So, and that should be the last half a year of this bull market if the 4-year cycle plays out. That's especially the part where altcoins can do very well. So, what I can see happen with Mixmob is, for example, that it just keeps on dumping extremely hard until mid 2025, and then there's so less liquidity, and then the market turns around and no dumping, that then the price, not necessarily this, but then really picks up. um yeah, so this is something you just want to write down, set in your agenda or whatever, because you can make money with it, but I think that if you're buying it right now, you are very simply throwing your money away. So I would be really careful at this moment. Thanks for what you do. Appreciate you, bro. Um, can you take a look at Orange DX and Beefy Labs, please? If you could name another good project in BRC20 sector, that one you bullish on. Thanks, by the way. Your song was fire, lol. Made my day. Thanks you, thank you, man. Yeah, the song was funny, but not serious or anything like that. Orange Lab or another BRC. Look, I am not sure about the BRC narrative. It was a pretty short-lived hype. I do think it will have a comeback, but at the moment, I don't hear anything about it. But that might be a good reason to get in right now. Mixed feelings about that. What I always find interesting is like what we spoke about, launchpads, right? And if you want to look for a launchpad in that niche, yeah, then this might be an I still have a little bit of dust from what I see. It's so low cap that I have it in my moonshot like dust portfolio. But this is one that I think could be interesting, but also, right, depends on the vesting. I don't know. Otherwise, I'm not fully convinced, of course. Otherwise, I would have it in my main portfolio. But that's something. Oh shit! I don't see the vesting right here. Well, you want to check it out, but the market cap is 166k, right? It's fucking ridiculous. Well, fully diluted is 2.1, so yeah, 13x vesting, not great, but yeah. And then you want to just look like, hey, are they still active, right? And yeah, it's not like that or anything. They get some likes yet, so okay, might be a project that fucking explodes, but really like with 160k market cap, 100x is fat as fuck. Or it dies, right? Which it like kind of already is doing. So, meh. Um, but Orange DX, yeah, I was in the pre-sale, and it's 04DX, I think. Yeah. Look, these are like these so small cap projects. They are big bleeders usually, but this one is funny enough, which is also important. You always want to compare, right? That's just most important. Look at the altcoin market. What has it been doing for the last fuck these lines? What has it been doing for the last couple of days? Down. Okay, so how's your altcoin doing compared to that? This one has been going sideways, right? So this is outperform. It's not really outperform, but yeah, it's outperforming the general altcoin market. So there's something good to this one. So yeah, might be interesting. And for the X, let me take a real quick look. It has a market cap of $2.5 million, fully diluted 4.7. So the dilution is not bad as well. If you look at the vesting, treasury, but hey, who says they're going to use that? Ecosystems only good for the project community. Okay, that's kind of fucked up. Other than that, I mean, private round done, public round done, early round done. Liquidity is unlocked fully. Strategic round is done. The advisors are getting their tokens later this year. So yeah, this doesn't look bad. Actually, this doesn't look that bad. And then we have Beefy Labs. I heard about it, but I never really looked at it, so I don't know about it. I don't know what it does or anything, right? But super low cap. Just had a decent pump, but overall trend is like really not looking great. Yeah, this is really too soon to say, I think, but it's not necessarily looking that awful right away. What do you think about the KIP protocol node cell? And what do you think about VMIN, Star, Atlas, Polus, SVPN, and G Swift? There's a lot. KIP, I did I invest? I think I invested in that one. Looks pretty promising to me, actually. That's a pretty nice one. VMint, I don't know about that one. Star Atlas Polus, I recently looked at it, and I even think I've added it to my portfolio as a watch list, at least, not as I didn't buy it yet. Yeah, you go. Because what am if I want to invest in new altcoins, at least not new, but altcoins I don't have yet, I just look at what happened last year, because we can look at where it came from, but that's last cycle. Everything changed, right? The environment, the macro, the whole crypto space changed. The vesting for the project changed. So this is not comparable to this, but the last year is comparable. That's this current cycle, right? And if I then look, and especially the market cap, I want to compare that. If I then look at this, I'll be like, okay, in this current stage of the market, this is a project sitting at a $25 million market cap. Once the market turns around in a non-alt season, right? It wasn't even an alt season yet. This project did a 5x, 6x. And now it is back at these exact levels. Yeah, I don't actually know why I haven't bought it yet. But this is, to me, this signal like, yo, get in now. So, Polis, after this live stream, I'll buy something. Because this is an obvious play, in my opinion. And it's not a guaranteed play. But look how long it was sitting at that, $25 million market cap range. That was kind of the floor, the range, the ceiling, whatever you want to call it. And then once the breakout happened, it had a run. And now we're sitting at these exact same levels to test it as support again. So we know, at least from this level in this market, it can go way higher. Right, so these are the plays that I don't know why I haven't bought it yet, to be honest. Wait, let me pop up my to-do list for today. Buy a fuck ton of Polis. Yeah, and also fundamentally, I just love the game, and it's looking like amazing. SVPN, don't know about that as well. G Swift, G Swift, Jesus, G Swift. I haven't heard a lot about them though. Yeah. Also, look, I mean, last year it had a pump where I was sitting at around 5 cents, and Jesus, what a pump was that! And it pumped all the way to 80 cents. It had a 15x, and now it's almost back at this level. I know it's also because they were new. They had the hype right here. Here they have, from what I see, zero hype. Right, so a similar pump. I don't know, but Jesus, making it back to 50 cents or so, 40, 50 cents could be on the table. But yeah, then again, that's a 4 or 5x from here. I think that every single shitcoin that we pick right now will do at least a 4 or 5x from here. Fundamentally, I have to research it a little bit more, but it's also going on the list. Okay. Yeah. This is the right question also to ask. Will you share your plans for rotating Bitcoin to large caps to potential new cycle gems? Yeah. I won't make this too long, but this is exactly the way to make money, in my opinion. Okay, so like we spoke at the beginning of the video, I'm not going to repeat that. Bitcoin, if Bitcoin pumps and you are in Bitcoin, you make money, right? If Bitcoin pumps, usually the dominance also goes up. That's what we're seeing right now. So altcoins go down on the Bitcoin pair. So for now, it's better to be in Bitcoin and not in altcoins, really, right? So I think personally that the Bitcoin dominance could go anywhere around 58 slash 62%. That's where I think, and that's a lot higher than what I discussed right here, but I think that that's the max possibility, right? At that point, it could go down and we can see the start of an alt season. Um, so then it's not necessarily that I will put it first in large caps and then in small caps, etc. I just have my portfolio that contains both, and I will put most of it in large caps at the beginning of the alt season, and then take the profits out later and put it into small caps then, right? Because that's a confirmation you need. Why do you want to realize why do altcoins run? Well, people put money in Bitcoin, they make money on it. At a certain point, it pumped enough. It's in price discovery. It's not really measurable anymore. People feel like, okay, I don't know what to expect anymore, but these altcoins I can measure. So let me take that money out of Bitcoin, put it into altcoins. And these are mainly the high caps, right? The safer place. These pump, right? The AVAXs, Solanas, the whatever. Then these pumped. And then people feel like, okay, take that profit out, then put it into small caps, then these pumps. So that's usually the rotation. Um, but that's my plan. And the way what to do is I just look when the dominance like kind of reverses, right? But so far it doesn't reverse, right? It's just new highs, new lows. So it's still the opposite of an altcoin season. And so far it doesn't make any sense to, if I now get more money into the market, if I put more money into the market, I'm putting it into Bitcoin, not in altcoins. Why? Otherwise I miss out, right? And I still have my Bitcoin as dry powder to buy these lows. So yeah. Um, let me take a look. I see a lot of double questions. Overall, your thoughts on the BRC20 sector, what data shows? I haven't even looked at data. I just look at sentiment at this moment in the market, and I just see the Solana hype. I see the meme coin hype. I see the AI hype. I see the gaming hype. But I never see BRC anywhere so far. But if I just use my right mind, like Bitcoin, like let's be honest, next cycle, will Ethereum still be there? There's a good chance, but we're not sure, right? Will Solana still be there? We don't know. Will BNB still be there? Will whatever still be there? We don't know. All we know is Bitcoin is very likely to still be there. And then BRC20, yeah, it makes sense. I think maybe it's just a cycle too early to talk about BRC. Maybe the BRC sector is like not, it's still too complicated as well, right? If you look at ordinals, etc. Like, man, even I have to look at it like, what the fuck? Okay, let me take my coffee and check what's going on right here. So how the fuck will they get new people in, right? It still needs to develop. It's too early for it, I think. What do you think about Ethereum layer 2, such as Metis? I looked at it before. Let me check. It's not the most discussed coin out there, at least not in my circle. I don't know, man. Price wise, I feel like it looks a little bit like Chainlink, right? It goes sideways for very long, has a pump, pretty good pump, by the way. Jesus Christ, what a pump! Yeah, okay, this Chainlink, but in under a telescope, and then dumps very hard. Might be an interesting play. I have to research it. I cannot say anything logical about it, but it's at least not a dead project or anything like that. I think we can all see that because dead projects, they don't go from $10 to 135. So yeah. Do you feel like your mid-curving memes hit 100x, 20x, 10x buying the blood for established low caps memes recently? I just don't play the meme sector that much, to be honest. I understand that that's where the money is right now, but it's also where you lose a lot of money, right? And that's also really important to me. I think it's for a lot of people, it's not really important if they lose money. They are in memes so much because, hey, you can make a lot. Yeah, but then go to the casino. You can do the same thing. The chance, like, let's be honest, within 5 seconds, how many meme coins in the top 100 can you name? Go. Five or so? Six, right? Now think about the 20 million meme coins that there are. So how big is the chance that you will hit the winning meme coin? But that's like these stories in the newspaper where somebody wins the lottery, right? Then you think like, wow, I'm gonna buy lottery tickets too. But you never hear the stories about people who bought it and just didn't win. That's the same with meme coins. I did these series, man. I still do it. Rock to Rich. And that's why I just on camera buy a couple $100 worth of random new meme coins. And I think I bought a total of 200 meme coins, maybe. Just new, right? So if I were early on the Pepe, the next Pepe or whatever, if $100 would turn me into a billionaire, guess what? I'm not a fucking billionaire. I got rocked 200 times out of the 200. It's ridiculous. So I'm not gonna do that with some serious money, but I do understand. Like, and then you can look at the more established meme coins. Like well, somebody has like punk, for example, right? It's not like a Dogecoin or anything, but hey, $250 million market cap, right? It's somewhere, it's proven itself already. But then I feel like, why would I buy something with a $250 million market cap if it doesn't have a utility to fall back on if the market collapse? Why can't I not just better buy something that I know is adding something to the space, which has the same market cap? Makes me feel a lot more comfortable. Yeah, and do I miss out on these gains then? Potentially, yeah. But for me personally, it's too much risk. I have 2 or 3 meme coins in my portfolio, but it's a really small amount. And one is already down hard, right? I just don't feel like I don't want to have too much money over there. I want to go over a couple more questions though. First, want to show you a couple of interesting things. Look, this is Plan B, but I think the P stands for perma and the B stands for bull. His best, not case, but best guess scenario for 2024 to 2028. End of this year, 150K. Next year, 800K. I sometimes hear that I'm bullish, but I think that this is really bullish. Now, I think 300K, 400, best case scenario. But that's really best case scenario. But anyway, he says 800K. That's bullish. And then the low for the next bear market comes in at $300,000. I think like, look, I mean, you probably hear this and think like, what the fuck, man? But you have to understand that Plan B is actually a guy who predicted a lot of fucking shit. Right? He wasn't always right. Last cycle he predicted 100K and went to 70. But if you look where he predicted it, he came pretty close. He started at 3K or so and he said, oh, 100K. Well, it came to 70. Not bad. But he usually is pretty right about things as well. And now he says this. Yeah, I mean, crazier things have happened. Matter of fact, even if this happens, that would be the least crazy thing of all the bull markets. So, hey, why not? I think it's interesting. Somebody says, I don't know, man. Somebody says meme coins are down bad. AI coins down bad. RWA coins down bad. GameFi, dead. DeFi, dead. That's where I feel like, oh, that's my buying signal, man. That's my buying signal, right? Because every single time somebody says something is dead, without that it's clearly dead, it is the best buying opportunity ever. I remember in this bear market when I did some streams as well, and somebody said, or some people said, oh, Solana, and it was sitting at $9. And he said, like, Solana, it's bad. Fuck Solana. Fucking bullshit. And SBF is gonna ruin it all. Whatever it was. So much fun. It was dead. Right? And I do remember that I said, like, well, you know what? I mean, Solana's fucking fast. It's fucking cheap, right? It's just like discounted. And now everybody's like, Solana. I'm like, what? Okay, that was maybe what, you know. And now they say the same thing about GameFi. Bro, GameFi has never been more alive, man. Look at all 2021. We had Axie, a game for 12-year-old retards. And everybody was, whoa, GameFi. Now we have amazing, really amazing games out there. Even if you compare it to Web 2, it's starting to look really good. Now it's that. No, it's better, but prices are low. Bro, discount. Discount. I'm so fucking big allocated in gaming, man. And DeFi is also not that. Will never be that. Because it's either DeFi or CEXs. Well, I don't know, but CEXs haven't proven to be so reliable, right? Crypto is about self-custody in the first place. So DeFi can, per definition, never be that. Right? So, if anything, maybe GameFi and DeFi would be the best place. Coach K says, and this is something I wanted to combine with what I said earlier, but he says, do your research. How do you do your research? Well, this, and then a whole list. You see how much work it is to do your research? Stop doing that. No, don't stop doing research. It's good. But again, like I said in a video earlier as well, if you look at an altcoin and you're interested in that altcoin, for example, DOT, right? Polkadot, if you look at Polkadot fundamentally and you apply all these things, most of the boxes will check probably, right? Who's the team? Established team. Great background. They are super active. They have many updates, right? Do they answer questions? Probably. Huge partnership. Tech, perfect. All these things, right? But then, if you look at the price chart of DOT, if this happened faster, would have been better. But then, if you look at the price chart of DOT, it says the complete opposite. Right? So therefore, I said, like, guys, sometimes you just don't want to overcomplicate things, right? You just want to skip all the research first, right? You don't want to permanently skip it, but let the research that comes later. Look at the price chart. It saves you a lot of time, right? Because if you look at a chart like this, is this something you want to research in the first place? You look at a chart like this and be like, okay, well, I don't know, I'm going to buy this shit. And then it doesn't matter who's the team. Is it getting wrecked against Bitcoin? And it's simply not worth it. Get rid of the trash. So I thought that this was quite interesting. Like, he has a point. This is how you do your research. But you can prevent a lot of time. That goes right into the trash can, basically. Like Davis, he said, MicroStrategy just bought an additional, it's not like that much, but 100, well, for him, 169 Bitcoin, 69, I don't know why, for $11 million. Now, MicroStrategy just doesn't stop buying, right? And I think that it's super important as a retailer to be in Bitcoin, right? Because all these institutions getting in, all these big companies getting in, politicians are getting involved. It is getting really out of control. And the major buys in from this, it hasn't happened yet. These ETFs hold 0.5% or so in Bitcoin, right? It's not a lot, but they don't want to risk like shit. But that would be way more. Yeah, at a certain point for a retailer, you're not gonna talk as Bitcoin anymore, right? You're gonna talk really in Satoshis. I have 0 or I have like 10,000 Satoshis, right? I can buy a secondhand car or whatever. That's how people are gonna talk. Now it's expensive, but it's not impossible for the average retailer to eventually hit a full Bitcoin. That's going to be really impossible for non-millionaires, I think, within now and a couple of years. I think it's super important to always have some. Simply also because, again, the dollar is going down. Bitcoin is going up. Keep your money in dollars, bro. No problem. But I would be a little careful with that. Let's get into some questions again. Oh wait, I want to skip some. I've got burned heavily with Octavia because a launchpad. Oh, they they launched a launchpad, which I thought wasn't a bad idea, uh, and could get you big allocations. But at 50 cents and the amount is down, that's insane. I don't know what you did before you bought it though. Um, like I don't know if you buy the pre. No, you didn't buy the pre-sale with 50 cents, I think, right? But yeah, what you always want to do, like, yeah, you wreck, man. I'm on moonshots. I'm also a wreck, by the way. But what you always want to do is like check for the vestings. Again, go to crypto rank, look up the token, and be like, hey, how's the vesting, right? I don't know where you bought it, but maybe you bought it here. Yeah, you bought it right into the KOL round. These KOL dumped on you. The seed round is now dumping, right? The public round was dumping. There's going money to the liquidity. Ecosystem rewards are being given out. They're doing marketing, is what they say. Um, and there's still a lot of unlocks to go, man. A lot of unlocks to go. Really a lot. So that's the biggest reason that you got dumped on so hard. So that yeah, that sucks, man. ICOs now starting. I understand what you mean. What do you think about ICP and all the hype around it? I don't think there's so much hype around it, to be honest. I see some people saying ICP, ICP. Yeah, I see red candles. I mean, it's already quite high cap, right? $4 billion. Look, not great, right? Let me see if I can pop it up right here. So we have one there, and let me put on this chart as well. So if we look first at ICP at their Bitcoin pair, it's it's not bad compared to the rest of the market, right? I mean, again, if you look at the altcoin market on its Bitcoin pair, sitting slightly above the cycle low, right? ICP, same, sitting slightly above the cycle low. So ICP, it's very simple. It's not an underperformer. It's not an outperformer. It's just doing average. Right? It's just doing average. It's just what the whole market does, basically. So yeah, if the market goes up, it might do well. But I don't really see the reason why to hold this instead of like anything else necessarily. But in the bull market, it should pump. I assume at least. All YouTube channels talking about it right now. Price does nothing. Yeah, because they want that they there are people that want them to talk about it, and they cannot make money with the coin, so they make money with their YouTube. It's kind of how the game works, right? Just giving your audience what they want to hear. It's kind of the Trump approach. What do you think about Virtual's protocol and Blender? Both great tokenomics and have shown strength when they pump. Virtual's protocol, I don't know that. I have a little bag of Blender, but like a little bit, right? Nothing too crazy. You can see it there, so I think. Yeah, I'm in Blender since 74 cents, so slightly below right now. Blender, hard to say because they came out basically in the altcoin crash. So yeah, they went from $4 to what was it, 40 cents. So they were down hard. Now it looks like they're at least trying to form a bottom in this area. I like the project, therefore I have an allocation, but I won't go in big until I see that this is actually confirmed, right? Because this can range for 10 months, right? And still make a low. Now they've been ranging for 1.5 months. So I don't know yet. It's more of a waiting game for me. But having some exposure might be a good idea. Virtuals protocol. Again, I don't know this one though. Fully diluted, same. That's good. They came out right in the market pump, so that's quite nice. They went from a cent basically to 23 cents. Insane pump. Back to like 2 cents. It's now sitting at 5 almost. Well, based on this price behavior, I would say if it gets back to this area right here, it might be a good buy. It might be a very decent buy. So I'm going to save that one. Thoughts on Flux? Shit, that had a hype back in the ever. Flux. Is it still a thing though? I understand that you hold it. Flux Bitcoin. Let me also take a look at that. Oh, fluxed up. Okay. No. Not in as no, I don't have any thoughts, but no, as in no, it's not for me, right? Again, I don't know if you're asking me about the price or narrative, but as an investor, I'm trying to make money, right? And therefore, I'm more interested in the price. Look, I mean, Flux is one of the projects, like a couple of other projects that I like, though, but so far not showing the strength. That has, basically gone sideways for 2 years right now, right? It's gone up, it's gone down, overall sideways. But Bitcoin 2 years ago was way lower, right? So if you invested in Flux right here, $1,000, today you would have $1,000. If you invested in Bitcoin right here, $1,000, today you would have, I don't know, $3,000-$4,000. And then you can see, and on its Bitcoin pair, it's going down. So it's weak against Bitcoin. So Flux is the example of what I'm saying, like, hey, it's underperforming Bitcoin. It's way higher risk than Bitcoin. So don't hold this, but hold Bitcoin. And then you can eventually buy the lows whenever you want. ChainGPT is the best launchpad, hands down, beside the other factors. Your thoughts? It's at least very much on top of my list. I don't know if the best. It kind of depends on what you include when you're looking for something called the best. But they have good allocations, they have a good team, they are really quick and innovative when it comes to changing shit and going with the market, and their UI upgrades and etc. Way better than CDFI in that case. However, transparency is way less than some others. It's newer, so they still have to prove themselves. But it's definitely very much on top of my list for sure. Yeah. The allocations are so low on CDFI and ChainGPT. Yeah, as they should, right? If you get high it depends. Allocations are high on CDFI, but then you have to have the highest tier. And if you can't afford that, then you should not expect high allocations as well, right? Because if everybody with a low tier can get high allocations, it means that everybody can get access to that specific project before it releases. So then who's going to offer the buying pressure on the open market to actually give us this amount of access? Nobody, because everybody can just get into the pre-sale with a lot of money, right? So that's the thing with launchpads. They should have low allocations. They should have a lot of people saying like, it's so low. Yeah, you should have bought more when the prices were ridiculously low, right? And that's what we are seeing right now. So launchpads are deep, but every time we're down again, people say like, yeah, but now it's dead. So now I'm not buying. And then when it's up again, it's like, fuck, I wish I bought, right? Have the balls, buy when it's low, and you will be fucking making it, man. I love your show. I love you. Thank you. I listened to Benjamin Cohen and Darden Fomo altcoin. Oh, what? And had only Bitcoin. I feel like you told us to go in altcoins. Do you regret that now when Bitcoin was a better call? It's a good question. Nah, not really regret. Like, look, it's a matter of risk reward, right? And it plays out the one way or the other, right? It's not like that we can know what's going to happen. It's more like, hey, this is what the chart telling us. And if this is likely, I want to be hedged a little bit against or for that, right? And I mean, altcoins did pump in the meantime, but it's only worth it if you take your profits, right? If you haven't taken your profits yet, then you're back at where we were. So, but yeah, no, I mean, overall, in hindsight, yeah, it was better to not stress about the altcoin market at all in hindsight. But that's only the things that we know in hindsight, right? It might as well did something like this, right? And then it was better. So it's kind of like you just want to place your bets against that, like, because it's also, if you were fully in Bitcoin this whole time and the altcoin market pumped like this, I bet that there were a lot of people that stressed about missing out and that they bought altcoins with their Bitcoin here. And now they are writing it down. So it also kind of depends on what you eventually do with it. Is Render or AVAX at a good entry point? Look, that all depends in general what the market is going to do, right? Let me be very clear about that. Like, the altcoin market, sorry for all the fucking badass drawings though, but the altcoin market can take, in my case, in my opinion, worst case scenario can take a 35% hit. That's 70% on your portfolio probably, right? So if that happens, yeah, then they are now not at a good point. But you don't want to time it, so you want to DCA. And when I look at AVAX dollar pair, and I don't want to make it too complicated. Yeah, big support sitting here at around $22, $23. Now sitting at 25. So to start DCAing, definitely not bad. AVAX on its Bitcoin pair, um, that's looking like it probably wants to make a triple bottom, right? From what I see. Bottom, bottom, and we're now basically going straight down towards it. Render, nice renders. Look, this is the thing. If you are in dollars or in Bitcoin and you see an altcoin that you have to go down, and your first response is nice, then you know you're good, because yeah, you just want to not only be fucking stressed when this shit happens. Render looks like it is sitting at its first kind of support point right here, 530. Looks like a good entry. If it breaks, I would look more at like, yeah, prices like 340, 320, 40, give or take. But this is a good DCA. If you don't have exposure yet, then this is a really nice place to get your first DCA, in my opinion. And then we have Render BTC. Yeah, it's sitting at real good support right now. I mean, support, resistance, 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 support. We're now here. Hey, we can break it. I mean, that could definitely happen, right? And wow, and the 0.786 is setting there exactly as well. This should be good support. But then again, support can break, and then we can look at another 30% down. Ooh. Don't do this! No, stop! I did this before and it didn't work out. I'm taking out a big loan to profit from the next leg. Please explain for the person who gets in now. Should I DCA Bitcoin on dips or altcoins right away? Okay, look, I mean, don't borrow money, man, to get in crypto. Although I think that your timing is actually not bad. Don't do it. Because it's your, what if, okay, always ask yourself, because you apparently need to borrow it, so you don't have the money, right? So what if the market doesn't do what we want and the market goes down and you lose the money? Think in the hypothetical ways, okay? Are you then fucked up? If the answer is yes, then don't do it. Even if you think like, yeah, but the market is not going to do that. What if? You don't want to put yourself in that position, bro. Been there. Really. Take it from me, the most impulsive piece of shit on this planet, crypto Earth. Don't do that. Nevertheless, for somebody who gets in crypto with stolen loans or wherever, borrowed money, should I DCA Bitcoin on dips or altcoins? That's hard to answer, actually, because that depends on what's going to happen exactly, and that's what I don't know. If I would do it, I would go for the easy one. I would say 50% Bitcoin, 50% alts. right? Then if the dominance goes up, you can DCA these alts later even more. And if it goes down, you can ride the alt season. So that's what I would do. Do you know why Decubate is so low at the moment? Looks like everything is, right? Everything is. Decubate is not an exception, actually. I just looked at it the other day, and it's down basically just as much as any other project. It went from, let's say, 14 cents to 4 cents, went down like 4x. Yeah, I almost want to say which low cap project is not at least down 4x, right? So it's not an exception. This is just the market, and yeah, nothing crazy. Takes some mix 'em up, but the price is now lower than the C price. Why would the angel investors dump with a loss to save what they can? Actually, right? The market is going down right now. And early investors also know when to maybe just take a loss, and move on. I'm in some seed projects that I feel like, okay, that money that I invested back then, long forgotten about it, but I now can get some money from it at least and put that into the market that's down. So I'm not saying these guys will all do that, but there are definitely people that are doing that. Plus, the liquidity is now so low that a little bit of bad trading can dump the price already. The market makers can fuck it up, whatever. So yeah, it's definitely possible. Can you check the DOP chat chart? I think DOP. What's DOP? Good morning, DOP. Which one? Because there are a lot. I think data ownership protocol, because this is at least this does something. But let me know. Otherwise, I'm looking at the wrong one. Do you do meetups in my city? Hi from close to my city. Well, me and a guy that I'm working with, we have our office right now, and we can throw parties in there. And we were actually talking about like, hey, maybe we should do some kind of a meetup in the Netherlands, because there's quite some people out of the Netherlands. So a small meetup might be nice. But first, I have to check how many people. If there are like 3 people, then I don't want to call that something like a meetup or anything. Then it's more like, hi. What do you think? What are your thoughts on XRP? Yeah, bad stablecoin. It sometimes goes down. Stablecoin is supposed to go sideways, right? So it doesn't do what it needs to do. It's weird. No, I mean, I don't have good thoughts on XRP, man. I'm not a big XRP hater, but I just think that the XRP community is fucking toxic, and that these people. No offense to you though, because I don't know how you are, but there are people about XRP saying it will go to $200. Just wait, just wait. Bro, I've been waiting for a fucking decade. What the fuck do we need to wait for? In the meantime, everybody and his mother became millionaire with everything in the market, and XRP holders be like, yeah, I went from 30 cents to 57 cents. Just wait. We're waiting for nothing. It's not going to happen. It has a $32 billion market cap already. What the fuck do you want it to go, right? So yeah, it might, like in the bull market, of course, also move, just like everything moves. Don't get me wrong though, but it's very simple. If you look at XRP on its Bitcoin pair, again, that's the pair that actually matters. Look how hard this has been going down, right? So what's the point? What do you think about big time? It had a very short hype. It has tokenomics, which could be a little bit more friendly. Yeah, I mean, it went from 80 cents to 9 cents, and that's the deceiving thing, like, right? Like, you can say, like, well, it's down 10x. No, I mean, more tokens are getting circulated right now. So probably the market cap is down from 300K to 90K. It's only down actually 3x, right? And that vesting is currently going on. I like the game, looks fucking awesome. Not gonna lie, but as an investor, I'm not interested. What's your opinion about small micro caps potential if the project has good product and cash flow? Then, when the time is right in the market, then it's time to get in. Actually, all right. But it's still dependent on the market in the first place, right? If the market shows like, hey, this is not the time for small and low caps, and micro caps especially, then I would be really careful. Um, but especially if they have a good revenue, right? That's what you want, because if they have revenue, then they can keep the project alive, and they can kind of manipulate the price to the upside, and they can, make sure that we are getting paid off as investors. So that all comes down to having a good product. So when the time is right, yeah. And I think, in my opinion, but if we have to see by then, right? But I think, in my opinion, the time is right somewhere for small caps, Q2 2025, something like that, right? I think the first leg of all season is mainly going to benefit the whatever the hype narrative is by then, like meme coins are right now. That won't last forever. That will be something else then. And yeah, the big caps basically. What do you think about the net token? I'm not really familiar with the net token. $3 million market cap, super low cap, but the price has been going down forever. So my opinion is trash. Not my opinion is not trash, but the opinion that I have is this is trash. Simple, right? I can already see it here, right? If I pop up now the 10 at Bitcoin pair for you, then you will be shocked, right? Like I can show you 10 at USDT divided by Bitcoin USDT. I mean, this is gonna be fucking terrible. Look, this is something I would not buy with a cent of my money. What do you think about Ortify as a launchpad? They had good ideas like Skillful AI. However, Ortify is down hard, just like every other launchpad. Look, I mean, there are too many launchpads out there right now. Let's be honest. It's a narrative, right? It's a it's a use case. I think it's the easy route. Let me put it like that, right? Because most of the people that want to create a project, they create a meme coin. Why? Well, because they can't code. They don't have actually something that they do. So they just say, I have a meme coin. And they actually don't have to do anything else than just shilling shit on Telegram, right? Launchpads are close second to that. Because as a launchpad, you don't have to be technical and this and that. You can just say, hey, here we release new projects. And you still have to do a lot for it. Don't get me wrong, though, but it's not rocket science. And everybody is now starting a launchpad. And I feel like, yeah, what makes this one different than the others? But that's what I'm now saying about every launchpad, by the way. But I don't see why they also started a launchpad. It's kind of desperate. Um, I haven't used that launchpad, so I cannot say anything about that, though. Okay. Yeah, the website fucking sucks. Yeah. I don't know about this. I look, these are these kind of projects also so low, right? That if the market overall finally bottoms out, you can see like, okay, what kind of low micro cap launchpads haven't died? And if you get in then, you have the cheapest price, but also the like a little bit confirmation that it won't die anytime soon, then it might be worth it. So yeah. Guys, what's happening to Web3 whales? People are still optimistic, not quite working out as we hoped at the moment. Look, Web3 whales is we make ourselves very much dependent on the market, right? I mean, we invest in these new projects. Yeah, if the market is going down, again, new projects are not doing great, right? And the altcoin market is going down at the moment. So we are like the love it or hate it in crypto. Like we are a launchpad kind of times two movement. What do I mean? If the market goes up, then we will do fantastic, right? We did in this leg right here. We didn't even start right here, but in this leg right here, we made a couple million, right? But in this leg right here, we fucking don't have flows basically, and these couple of million, that not a lot is left, right? Well, a million maybe, but that's kind of what it is. We are so dependent on the market. We invested in all these projects basically, right? And look at these charts. Most of them, they fucking suck, right? Most of them, they fucking suck and they are down hard. So yeah, what's the point of us selling these tokens right now, right? That's not going to give us profits. Right? We only pay out the profits, but hey, we invested here. Yeah, if it's now here, that's not profit, right? So we can get a part of our initial money back, but that's not going to go to the investors' wallets, right? So what we're doing is basically, Jesus Christ, this one got wrecked as well. But what we're basically doing is now with the projects that we have already invested in, just wait, right? Just like we just saw with this one. Look, this sucks, right? Either we ride this thing all the way to zero, or we ride the big fat pump up, because you also have to understand there's basically no liquidity in these projects. So it doesn't take a lot to pump them, right? So that's and other than that, we just now also we invest though, right? All the shit that I'm saying on my channel all the time, I'm applying that for Web3 whales as well, right? Like for example, like said, CeFi down hard, right? From almost $6 to $1. Yeah, Web3 whales bought a lot of CeFi. We sold it here, by the way, and here, and we bought it back here. It was beautiful. And we bought it here, by the way. We nailed it. We fucking nailed it. But nevertheless, we bought the dips, right? On this one, we bought the paid dip, we bought the gains dip, we bought the engine started dip, we bought the chain GPT dip, we bought the dips, right? So now it's only a matter, if the market pumps a little bit, Web3 whales is making a lot of money. But yeah, as long as the market is not doing that, hey, then we just have to keep buying the dips, DCAing, networking, making sure that the D app in the meantime looks better. Just keep waiting and working in the meantime. And once the market turns around, we will profit. Can you take a look at Palm AI? I had it on my watch list for a while, not anymore though. But it's more simply because I don't know how much shit I should put on my watch list eventually. But it's good tokenomics. They have decent volume. Price action is not that negative. It went all the way from 180 to 27 cents. So that was a beautiful buying opportunity. It's now sitting double from that. So yeah, if it gets back down at these levels, right, it's still far from that. But if it gets back down to these levels, really interesting. Gaming cryptos are wrecked. I'm DCAing into Myria at the moment, but it's really down. Any thoughts? Well, first thing, gaming will be back fucking hard. That's what I tell you right now. It's not a guarantee, of course. It's just me saying it. But I think that gaming is, look, if you are in crypto and you want to be risky, so apart from Bitcoin, but you want to be in an obvious play, there's nothing that even comes close to gaming. Why? The user base is already there, right? People play games. That will never change. People are in crypto. That will never change. The combination is being built by the smartest people in the world, and the games are looking better and better. So it's only now the adoption that has to come. It's so fucking obvious in my opinion. It's like, and I'm not even a gamer, right? But I'm talking all the time about it like I'm some kind of a nerd ass gamer that's addicted to his Flappy Bird, Fappy, whatever. But I'm not even a gamer. But I just know it's the most obvious play. Miriam, I have a Miriam note, and I know a lot of people have. And I haven't looked at it in a long time, but what's the point of dumping it now, right? But if I look at the Miriam market cap sitting at 55 million, here was sitting at 40. That might be a big, support level. So it could go down a little lower, maybe. Yeah, Miria had the hype right here, man. I don't really see him then have the hype right now, but it's also the type of project that people might sleep on, and then it in the meantime does all that kind of crazy shit in the background, and when the market turns around, everybody and his mother gonna FOMO into Miria. I think Miria is a pretty good play. I think it's a good play. Um, yeah, might be interesting. Oh, GPU. Yeah, I looked at it before. I also ignored it and then it pumped. I think something like that. Yeah. It's at $1 right now. Yeah, this is an interesting one. It has the momentum so far, so that's a nice one. What's your thoughts about AGI? Team is still working really hard. Uh, so they're doing their stuff. Definitely, they're working on their AI. They're still working on their game. I think they're very smart. They have insane market making. Insane. Because guys, I'm not gonna lie, right? If I look at, I don't know what the price is right now. It should be low. It's holding up better than most altcoins. It's an outperformer as well. But I'm not gonna lie. I have a fuck ton of nodes. So I'm getting like how many tokens do I get daily? I think like 900 or something, 1,000, right? So that's $160 a day or so. That's quite a lot, right? And I know there are a lot more people like me who got in from day one with high conviction. So there is intense sell pressure for AGI. And yet the price, look how it's holding up. So in a bull market, this thing might fucking rip. So I don't know, man. I like it. Do you have Gala now? No. I looked at it the other day, and with Gala, same kind of thing, right? I look at the chart, and apart from what my thoughts are on the Gala, their intentions, I don't really like what they do nowadays. But apart from that, their chart is just like, hey, Gala is also just it has its ups, it has its downs, but overall it's sideways, right? Since December 2022 or even August 2021, whatever, it's not moved. Bitcoin did, right? So on its Bitcoin pair, yeah, obvious high, lower high, lower high, low, 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 low. So Gala is in a massive downtrend. I don't want to buy a falling knife. I don't want to catch it. All right. So I first would like to see how far can Gala go down. Um, and it has some kind of the blue chip gaming hype around it. But I also think it's very overpriced for what it does compared to other projects that are now out there in the crypto space. I mean, it is a gaming studio, right? But it has a more like an $800 million market cap. Yeah, there are a lot of good gaming studios out there that are cheaper than that. So I don't know. It's not for me. Oh damn! Oh, a lot of comments, man. Twan, you are the man. There are a lot of fucking comments. I'm gonna wrap it up in a couple of minutes though, because I said to myself, I'm not gonna do this for longer than 1 hour. It's now 1:20, and I feel like fuck the rest of my day, fuck all my plans, and I'm not gonna clean this house. All right, this is a good one. Will gaming season start? Gaming trend? Yeah, in my opinion, it will. Look, projects I think are now also just waiting for the market to turn. Like it's not. I'm 100% guaranteed about this. Sure about this. Alex Becker, he said like there will be a separate gaming alt season where or like where all how do you say that, like where gaming altcoins will lead the bull run or anything. That's complete bullshit, right? Everything moves together. You can see that very clear by the last bull market as well, right? If you go to Bitcoin, right? When was Bitcoin like really running? Uh, where the fuck is my Bitcoin chart? Oh, yeah. Like, when was it really running? You know, complete 2021, basically. But then if you look at altcoins, like, that's also, they did the exact same thing in the same period, right? So I do feel like that's going to just be at the same time. But will gaming season start? Yeah, in my opinion, it will. If you cannot tell me in 2021 we had retarded Axie Infinity, fucking piece of shit game, sandbox with fucking Decentraland, but looks like shit, and there was so much hype around it. And now you're telling me we have all these games like Gunzilla, like, off the grid, etc., coming out, and all these games that are finally, something like, hey, I want to play this, and now there will be nothing, huh? Why? That doesn't make sense, right? So you cannot tell me that that won't happen. I have one note, and I got it right after you posted about AGI, and you had the creator on. I get 17 on my note a day. It keeps going down. Yeah, more people are getting into these, and they have a halving mechanism, of course. Otherwise, the token will have unlimited inflation, and that will also put the price down. But that's with notes, right? If you're really convinced you really want to be early, you want to go in heavy. But still, you make a passive income. The token could go to a dollar maybe in the bull market. I mean, it went already to 50 cents in this market without alt season. So how crazy is a dollar during an alt season, right? So it might go there. Hey, if you make 17 a day right now, that's $17 a day. That's not bad, man. That's really not bad, especially if you now save it up kind of and wait for the bull run to come. That's really cool. ALPH. Let me just fucking put it here. ALPH. USDT. I also always look at Bitcoin pairs, by the way, just to, whine to people about how bad shit is. But I think that with this one, I cannot really whine though. This is a strong one, man. I don't know what it does. I don't know why the fuck I never heard about it, because this is pulling off like render, Caspa kind of stuff. Strong. This is the kind of coin that shows you like, hey, if we have a dip, you better buy it, right? If you have a dip, you better buy it. So I would not now necessarily buy this pump, right? It just went from 90 cents to 220. But if it has another, like, now, if it has a good pump, a good dump over the coming weeks, might be interesting, right? Might be interesting. And I wanted to say, like, yeah, then it is a lower high. But then again, this was also a lower high and it's still pumped. So with the next first good dump, might be a real good opportunity to get in. But this is, this is definitely, the chart is looking like Casper Sister. God damn. Yeah, this looks great, man. This looks great. Render. Yeah, we saw that. Yeah. Oh, you saw that story about me getting scammed. Yeah, I took a loan indeed in 2019, 20, something like that. Like 5K. And I put it into a website called BTC Clock. And it was like you put that money in, it was like ka-ching, ka-ching, and you get 3% APY per day. Hey, and I believed it, right? And then a day later, the website was gone. It ran for months. And bad timing, man. Nevertheless, that's how I lost it, right? It doesn't matter how you lose it. It's about, you can lose money in crypto million different ways. This was my way back then, but you can lose it a million different ways. If you lose money, it's bad enough, but don't lose borrowed money, bro. Please be careful. Still holding Finceptor. No, I sold it, man. Not so long ago. I have I had like I think 150 coins or something like that. All like a little moonshots here and there, and I felt like, man, let me just get these all and put it into one thing to have like, and I put it into render because render was the winner. But Finceptor, I sold it also. Not because I don't like the project or anything like that or whatever. I'm happy I sold it, by the way. But it's just not my highest conviction or anything like that. Do you actually think there will be an alt season or a very short alt season? There will be an alt season, 100% guaranteed. That will be happening. But the question, of course, is when. And the question is this alt season also going to make altcoins go up on the dollar pair? Right? And I said this in one of the last videos, but actually, in alt season, a lot of people, when they talk about alt season, they talk about altcoins going up on the dollar pair. That's not what it is, though, because altcoins here also went up on the dollar pair, right? But not because altcoins went up. It's because Bitcoin went up and altcoins just went with it, right? You either have a Bitcoin season or an altcoin season. So it's about which is outperforming which. And an alt season is simply where altcoins outperform Bitcoin. And that's by looking, for example, at the Bitcoin dominance, right? So the dominance of Bitcoin has to go down. Well, that's what we haven't seen in 3 years. And so far, we had one alt season in 2021, and we had one alt season in 2017. Both post halving years. My expectation is that that won't be much different and that we will get an alt season in 2025. Question is, if you are in for the money and not for the Bitcoin, what is Bitcoin going to do? Because if Bitcoin dumps during alt season, really dumps hard, then altcoins might be outperforming Bitcoin, but you still don't make dollars, right? Because your altcoins can still go down on the dollar pair. However, if Bitcoin, like it so far always does, stays either sideways or up during alt season, then altcoins on the dollar pair, they like that's the place where you change your life if you're well positioned. That's not like just making it 3x or so. That's crazy shit. And I think that will happen because the dominance for Bitcoin won't go up forever. Although it feels like it when you're in the middle of it. How do you think it felt like here, right? You know, intense Bitcoin season, altcoins got crushed in this run up, right? Then it went down and people thought, oh, finally our alt season. And then, bam, altcoins got slaughtered. And then again, down. Oh, finally alt season. Fucking slaughtered again. Now, by that time, people felt like, fuck that altcoin game. I'm out. I'm not in altcoins anymore. This isn't working. And then we got real alt season. Always, it first has to honestly feel like it's not gonna happen. People still, like you still ask it, right? People still expect it. People should stop expecting it, and then we will get it. And I think it's not gonna happen this year. What do you think about Arbitrum and Sui? I think Arbitrum is a piece of shitcoin that should not exist in the first place. And I only have a little bit because I needed it to add liquidity to another token with it. But otherwise than that, I think it's getting unlocked anytime now and I'm going to sell it. Why do I say that? Well, Arbitrum 1. 2, I only have $700 as well. But Arbitrum, $2 billion market cap. It's quite high. Fully diluted, 6.3 billion. So it still has 4 billion to go. That's a lot, man. That's a lot. 3, what the fuck do we need the Arbitrum token for? To vote? It's a governance token. Is that worth $6 billion? It has no use cases. We don't need it. Right? If you use Arbitrum, you're still paying gas fees in Ethereum. So what the fuck do we need Arbitrum tokens for? And the price chart is kind of showing like, yeah, you're kind of right. Let's go down. So I don't know about Arbitrum. I love using Arbitrum. And maybe the team will put a use case to it someday. That could happen. But for now, it's not. right? So I think it's a worthless coin. And Sui, I don't really like. I don't know. Um, Sui is also quite high cap. I think that people are looking for the easy route, right? And what most people by now in DeFi understand is MetaMask, right? And MetaMask has like Ethereum, Polygon, Matic, Polygon, the Binance Smart Chain, Arbitrum, right? AVAX. It's all EVM compatible. Right, but for Sui, you have to download another Sui wallet. And it's like an extra step that we actually do not need to take. Crypto is like complicated enough as it is, right? We cannot like even make our own people understand this shit, let alone get the new retail in that pumps our backs. In order to do that, we have to make it easy. Yeah, then to having a complete different thing like Sui, I don't know. When it comes to entry point, a lot of vesting going on. You see the difference between price and market cap. Price is sitting 70 cents, kind of the same as December. Market cap is sitting at the same point as more like February, because if we go back to December, the market cap is already more than twice as high. So a lot of inflation is happening right now. So I'll be a little careful with that though, because the token is getting dumped quite a lot at this specific moment. I don't want to say this. Do you also participate in seed and private sales? And if yes, did you stop investing the last few months? Barely anything going. Yeah. I did. Yeah, I did indeed. Also KOL sales, etc. At the last couple of months, I'm rejecting or ignoring everything. Yeah, because like you say, everything is bleeding. So and every new coin out there is basically bleeding. So I don't want to be there. Like I do still invest through Launchpads because they have a refund policy. So then it doesn't matter. If it's a win, it's a win, and if not, I get a refund. Right. So nothing to lose right there. But non-refundable seed sales kind of stuff only when the market is moving up again. Then that's going to be very profitable. But for now, no. What do you think about MetaDose? I'm in the pre-sale. Are the unlocks a problem? Yeah, I'm in the MetaDose strategic round and in the pre-sale as well. And yeah, unfortunately, it started really well, and I, for a second, I thought, "Whoa, I have a lot of money!" Yay! And now it just did what the whole market did, and it basically, I don't have a lot of money. Woo, sucks. Went down really hard. But what I think is funny is that MetaDose. I don't know if you know this game, but it looks actually look, it's not like a Far Cry or anything like that, right? But it actually looks pretty freaking good for a crypto game. It looks really good, actually, for a crypto game. And the market cap is lower than $1 million. If I would not have exposure through the pre-sale already, I would buy this, even though we have some big vestings. But this is an obvious play to me. Yeah, in the meantime, it can go lower, though. I mean, if it sits at 800, might as well go to 300, right? Who knows? But I think that this thing is one of those coins that once the time is right, you should strike, put it on your agenda, and get it. Also, it's on AVAX. AVAX is sleeping giant, man. AVAX is in crypto gaming. There's one game coming that everybody is looking out for, right? And that's off the grid, and that's built on AVAX, not for no reason. Also, okay, after this one, maybe one more, then I'm gonna wrap it up, by the way. Yeah, okay. What do you think about Chain GPT? Well, like I said, in Launchpad side kind of already spoke about it. When it comes to the price chart, I do have it here somewhere. Yeah, it's a winner. I mean, it's simple. It's outperforming the rest of the market, right? From the moment the market pumped, like I said, it did a 16x give or take. right? That's way more than the average. And now it's down 75%. So yeah, it's a little down, a little harder than average as well. But it's also because it pumped way harder. So I don't know. Looks quite good. It does need to reclaim that 15 cents, give or take, in order to really keep up the good price momentum. Otherwise, yeah. Let's see where it goes. I mean, it's still in a downtrend, right? Still in a downtrend. But at least in the last couple of whatevers, it tries to, what I think is most important, this low that it's going to form. Is this going to be a higher low? Then bullish, right? If this is going to be a lower low, then I would wait and see, like, okay, where are you going to bottom, right? Maybe 11 cents first, by the way. So yeah. Okay, last one, man. Sorry if I didn't answer all the questions. I tried my best though, but now I really need to wrap it up though. 2-hour live stream. What the fuck? If you had $1,000 to ape into something, where do you think you would get most access? Yeah, that depends. I mean, if you're only in it for the amount of access and you don't really care about the the risk that's attached, yeah, then I would look at low cap, micro cap launch pads, especially that, right? So you can take a look at Game Starter, for example. It's $3 million market cap. Fucking loss right here, god damn it. But $3 million market cap for a launchpad with the gaming narrative, way too obvious in my opinion. You could take a look at Spartadex. You could take a look at these local launchpads and maybe the single games, right? Super high risk, but if it works, it works, right? So, for example, back to Metadose, for example, it has a $800,000 market cap. What the fuck are we talking about, right? I think Bloodloop is holding up a lot better, but yeah, this doesn't show right here. I think it has more like 10 million or something like that. But these are the kind of things that I would look at. So you take a big amount of risk, but yeah, that's what you do when you go for the most amount of access automatically. So yeah, gonna wrap it up right here, guys. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate you spending 2 hours of your life to watch me spend 2 hours of my life. The market didn't really change much in the meantime, so that's nice. I don't have to discuss that anymore. For the people that watch this back, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn the bell notification on. My camera's in the way, so I don't see where the end stream button is there. Okay, guys, thanks for watching. See you soon. End stream. Yes, stupid camera, go the fuck away. All right.